Welcome back to the Portal Report Head Coach Showcase. I'm your host, George Michalowski, Director of Recruiting here at the Portal Report. Today, I'm joined by another very special guest. Today, we bring on the head coach of the Pacific Tigers men's basketball program, Coach Leonard Perry. Coach, welcome on. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, George. One thing I have to do before I do anything is learn how to operate a computer. So
It's all good. It's all good. So, Leonard, you were brought in a little over a year ago, last July, made things official. And now with one season under your belt, some key returners coming back next season, and some pretty big name transfers coming in. How has this offseason gone, and how has everything been getting to work with this new group of guys?
George, I think it's been fun. I think it's been a cool experience. We've got a group of guys that really enjoy being here and want to be a part of this program. And so far, they've been doing a fantastic job of getting in shape, getting stronger, getting to know each other, spending time with each other. And it's been a really, really neat experience watching them kind of grow and form their own chemistry.
Do you think it's tougher for them to form that chemistry when they're coming in from all over? I mean, you guys have JUCO guys, you've got high school kids, you've got transfers. Do you think it's tougher to build that chemistry as they're coming from all over?
Yeah, I think it would be no different than when trades happen in the NBA. It takes time for them to get used to a new staff, new terminology. The way we do things here, it just takes time. And our returning guys have been so gracious with the new guys and kind of showing them how we do things and the way we want it done. And the guys have bought in and they've done a great job. And so far, I'm like the other 354 head coaches. Everyone loves their team and thinks they're headed to the Final Four. So, we're all excited.
Right. So I do want to talk about that transfer class you brought in. And I want to start with a guy, Jordan Ivy Curry, an all freshman selection in Conference USA when he was with UTSA. Last year, took another huge step, almost 14 points a game. What was the moment like for you when you found out that Jordan was joining your program?
It was a good day. It was a really good day. We recruited him and, he was open to the idea. He liked the challenge, and he was certainly excited about our conference. And we were able to land him here in our class, and he's been wonderful thus far. I mean, he's a really talented guy. He can get it off the dribble. He can get to the basket. He can play out of pick and rolls. He's a talented young man. He really is.
Another guard that you guys bring on, Tyler Beard. He's a guy that I've been pretty familiar with for a while, coming from Chicago. I've watched this kid grow up and in a few years here playing in middle school, playing in high school at Whitney Young. He was really a highly rated guy at Whitney Young, took a prep year. Now he plays 1 year at Georgetown, and now he's a Pacific Tiger. So what makes you so excited about Tyler's future here at Pacific?
Well, it happens, George. Sometimes, kids make a selection and it's just not a right fit. It happens to coaches, it happens to players. And I think in our particular situation with Tyler, this happened to be a great fit for him. I have ties all over Chicago. We've always had Chicago kids everywhere I've been. And we were familiar with Tyler in high school as well. And really thought that if he were in the right role, he could really flourish. And we're really lucky to have him. I'm tickled pink about him being here. I think he's tougher than people think. I think he can run a team. He can really run a program. He understands the game. He understands the flow, who needs the ball, who doesn't. And I think he's a better scorer than people give him credit for. I think he'll shoot the ball really well for us this year.
So prior to your time at Pacific, and as the head coach, you served as the associate head coach. You'd coached all around the country prior to that. So you brought in your group of guys, your staff that you wanted here at Pacific. What about that staff that you compiled, that you work with now, gives you hope for the future of this program and really, solidifies the pitch that you're giving to recruits?
Well, I think, when you get these opportunities, you deserve, or you really should think long and hard about having people around you that you know and that you trust. It's really important. These jobs are very difficult to get. There are a lot of people that want them, and when you get that opportunity, you need to be around people that you know and that can get the job done. These are guys, and Josh Newman, Jason Levy, and Justin Brown. These are guys that I knew, I had known. I watched them be successful in other places, and two of them I competed against for years. So I knew exactly what they were capable of. I knew they could recruit. And then Justin Brown has been outstanding as well. When he was at South Plains, we've always recruited a ton of their players. And not only did we recruit their players have gone on and been really successful in Division I. So I knew that Justin could evaluate. What I didn't know is how good he'd be on the floor. And he's been great for us on the floor. He's great with our players. And so is Josh and Jason. And it's just been a really good fit. These are guys that are forward-thinking guys. They challenge the head coach. They make you think about things that you don't normally think about. And that helps me grow as a head coach. So all three of them can see my blind spots, and they've been nothing but a tremendous addition to our program.
I'm sure it's been a real team effort for you guys, bringing in all these guys, this year and in other off seasons. And I want to ask you, as a coach that's taking the reins at this program at Pacific last year, how big of a tool is the transfer portal for a younger coach like you that's starting up this program, that's trying to turn things around, but already has, familiarity with the program?
Well, we in the landscape that we're in right now, George, where kids are able to choose other schools if they're somewhere and they're not completely happy. As coaches, we had better be prepared when that happens. And I'm not going to say anticipate is the wrong word, but you better be prepared for when it does happen. And experience is one thing at this level. If you're going to get to the top of our league, you got to have some experienced guys that can come in and they've seen it before. And that was our goal. We wanted to bring in guys that had been in the grind before, that understood this level before. And that's where we were keyed in and locked in. We were fortunate enough to land on some guys that have some great experience at some great places, all the way down to Judson Martindale, who came from Holy Cross, who I think will be a great addition for us. But, we added guys out of the portal, Keelan Boone, Donovan Williams, Jordan Curry, Tyler Beard, Judson Martindale. And then we also just recently added Mekhi Richards, who is a 6'10", post that redshirted at Eastern Washington, who we think is really got a chance. But we mixed in there Maurice Odom, who's going to be a freshman, a prep school kid, so he is a little bit older. And then Cam Denson is a JC player from Triton Community College, who we think will be real good with the additions that we have with our returners.
Bunch of experience. You guys have it all down there. So, Coach, I'll start wrapping it up here. One last question for you. I'll give you the stage here.
Sure.
What would you say right now to Pacific fans to get them hyped up for the season? What are you most excited about heading into your second year as head coach?
Great question, George. I think the thing we're most excited about is our depth. We have depth this year. We have quality depth. Whichever way we decide to go, we can go big, we can go small. For our fans, I think we'll shoot the ball better this year. I think our skill level will increase this year. And, the experts will probably pick us at the bottom half of the league, but we certainly don't plan on staying there. I think this will be a fun group to come out, get behind and support. I think we have a chance to surprise some people in the non-conference and the conference as well. So I think our kids are going to come into this year with a chip on their shoulder, and they're really excited about the hard work that we put in the offseason, getting that in front of our fans. We get to play, I believe 15 times at home. And I think if you're a Pacific Tiger and you're a fan, this will be a great year for you to come out, get your tickets and be excited for this group. It'll be a lot of fun.
Sounds good, Leonard. We'll be keeping our eyes on you guys from the Portal Report. And I want to thank you again for coming on the show. Really appreciate that, Coach.
My pleasure, George. And next time I'll be a little more computer savvy. We'll have it all together next time, I promise.
Oh, no worries. That's it for this edition of the Portal Report Head Coach Showcase.